I'm going to start by admitting this is hugely nerve-wracking. I am more nervous than I think I've ever been before in my life. So if I stumble over what I say, please forgive me. This is an incredibly unusual, difficult and challenging time. The entire world has been picked upside down, shaken roughly, and some of us have been put back down again and some of us are still up in the air. It is really hard to know how we celebrate with our new graduates at a time where everything is so difficult. And so we're trying to get the tone tonight in a way which is celebratory, because you guys really deserve that, but at the same time acknowledging that this is the strangest time we've ever been in. So that said, welcome. And I hope that you can find some time this evening to make this about you and to enjoy the celebration that the team here have worked so hard to bring together for you. And I wanted to offer a particular welcome to those who have joined in from around the world. I'm very aware that some of you may have dialed in from Malaysia or Singapore, where it's about 2 o'clock in the morning at the moment. So thank you for that. And I hope that we're exciting enough to keep you awake. I'm going to talk you through the plan right now, because as the head of MBChB, this is my last opportunity to give these students or former students a chance to boss them around. So I'm going to do that a little bit. And then we will go over to some speeches. So the structure will be that I finish, and then I will hand it over to our principal, Professor David Maguire, who will give you a message. We will then take the oath, which is the traditional oath that Dundee medical students take at graduation. That will be led by one of our graduates, Dr. Jennifer Wood. She will lead it, and all of the other students will recite along. So you'll be able to see that on the screen. And then when that finishes, we will ask all of the graduates to agree to the oath by saying, I do. And then I would like everybody to have a very loud cheer and celebration. And I'll be encouraging you to do that again when we get there. It's then the turn of the Dean to speak, Professor Rory McCrimmon, and he will give you a personal message. We will then have a final toast, and then there will be a short celebratory montage at the end, because it's the 21st century. You can't have anything without a video montage. And on that, I will now hand over to Professor Maguire for a message from the principal. Thank you.
A very warm welcome from me and everyone else here in Dundee this evening. This is a very special ceremony, both because of the wonderful students who are graduating and the very strange circumstances in which we now find ourselves. Normally, in my graduation speeches, I would be welcoming everyone to Dundee on behalf of the city and the university. Sadly, this is not possible when we're in this period of social distancing due to the coronavirus. I am delighted that students, family and friends have been able to join us using the technology which we are becoming increasingly familiar with in these unprecedented times. I would like to extend an invitation to everyone who is online to join us in the city at a future celebration, where I would be delighted to meet you all personally. The University of Dundee has a proud history of education going back almost 140 years. Central to the institution's founding deed was that it should be used for promoting the education of persons of both sexes and the study of science, literature, and the fine arts. These early ideals are very much represented in our mission of today, which is to transform lives by the creation, sharing, and application of knowledge. Students, I'd like to talk to you for a moment. You are graduating from one of the best medical schools at one of the finest universities in the United Kingdom. Dundee has long been at the forefront of medical education, not just in the UK, but internationally, and is well known as a trailblazer with extremely high standards. Your predecessors as graduates include a Nobel Prize winner, Sir James Black, and our former Chancellor, Lord Patel. Dundee has consistently been ranked extremely highly for the quality of education and experience which is available to all students. It would be remiss of me not to mention we are also the University of the Year for Student Experience 2020, a title given to us by the Times and Dundee Times newspapers. I'm sure you're also aware that the medical school is an internationally renowned research hub. One of the reasons the university has been able to contribute directly to the response to COVID-19 is because we have leading researchers working in areas such as respiratory care. We have wider strengths too. These include diabetes, fertility treatment, and cancer screening and prevention, to name but just a few. And some of you, I'm sure, will go on to become clinical academics with your own research profile. During your time at Dundee, you will have gained new knowledge and skills that you can now take out into the world. You will have many memories and new friends, and possibly some of you may even have met your life partner. There are many aspects of your time at Dundee that you will cherish. Perhaps one is an appreciation of local comic humour. In your future careers, may you proceed as fast as Billy the Whiz, be more successful in financial matters than Oor Woolley, and a little less desperate than Dan. The present circumstances are such that you are likely to be making your own impact almost immediately. This ceremony is taking place earlier in the calendar than would normally be the case, to allow you to support the NHS at our time of greatest need. Be confident that we have not compromised academic standards in graduating you. Be absolutely sure that you have all the knowledge and the training that you will need to go on to be successful in your chosen career. I'm sure your new colleagues will be impressed at your readiness to help them now and long into the future. The appreciation for the work you will do as doctors in the NHS is palpable across the nation, particularly through the Thursday evenings of applause, which have become one of the most heartwarming events of this lockdown period. As global ambassadors with a lifelong membership of the University of Dundee, you should always consider that this is your university. Take pride in that membership and share your passion for the university in connection to the city of Dundee in the years ahead. As you receive your degrees, take your oath and step out into the world as a graduate ambassador for the University of Dundee. Know that we, your university community of fellow graduates, students and staff, wish you the very best for the future. As you step forward proudly into the next phase of your life, my advice to you is to be bold, be confident, be caring, and above all, aim high. Take with you the things that you've learned at Dundee: hard work, determination, and the certain knowledge that you will succeed if you put your heart and mind into it, just as you have while you've been studying at Dundee. In conclusion, on behalf of everyone at the University of Dundee, I offer my heartfelt congratulations and I wish you every continuing success. Good luck.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Professor Maguire. Now, can I ask Dr. Jennifer Wood, one of our newest graduates, to lead the oath. At the end of the oath, I'm going to ask all of the graduates if they will turn on their personal mics so that they can affirm at the end, saying, "I do." Over to you, Jennifer.
I ask you to declare with me the following oath, that we will maintain the traditional standards of professional conduct. I solemnly promise to use to the best of my knowledge and ability the art and science of my profession, for the good of those under my care, and to make the preservation and restoration of their health my constant aim. I shall keep secret anything I see or hear in my practice that should not be divulged. I shall constantly endeavour to improve my knowledge and skills within my profession and to share useful discoveries with my fellow practitioners, whom I promise to hold in fraternal regard. These things I shall do for the benefit of those whom I seek to serve, and for the honour of the profession I now join.
I do.
I do.
Cheer, please. Everybody cheer. As long as you can. I should tell you, in a normal graduation, the principal challenges each of the cohorts graduating through the week of graduation to see how loudly they can shriek and cheer. And the problem with a Zoom celebration is that we don't really know quite how loud it is, but my speakers were definitely whimpering, so well done. It's now my privilege to introduce you to the Dean of Medicine, Professor Rory McCrimmon, who's going to give you a few words.
Well, good evening, doctors. That sounds good, doesn't it, I think? You're all looking wonderful. You're looking fantastic tonight. It's great to see you've made so much effort for this celebration. Now, like the principal, I welcome all of you to what is a very special and a very different graduation. Very much a celebration, somewhat strange in its format. I also want to extend a warm welcome to all of your family and your friends who hopefully have been able to join you this evening. Now, first and foremost, on behalf of the medical school, congratulations to you all. After all those years of study, the endless cycle of revisions and exams, you've finally graduated and you're now doctors. So take a moment, savor that and smile. It's certainly been a long time coming, but it's very much worth it. You're now a graduate of Dundee Medical School. We're a relatively new medical school, as you know, having become independent in 1967. But despite our youth, Dundee Medical School has achieved many, many firsts. Apart from the ones mentioned by the principal, we were, for instance, the first new teaching hospital built in the UK in the 20th century, and one that was uniquely designed so that we would integrate the medical school entirely with the hospital. This is actually very unusual in the UK, and it means that in Dundee, you're exposed to a clinical environment from your first day, and that's something that we believe is very important. We also designed and introduced the spiral medical curriculum. We developed the OSCE examinations, which inform medical education throughout the world. And now you, the class of 2020, you're the first to graduate online. So you can add this to your list of achievements. This may not have been the perfect celebration for your family, for your friends, and for your colleagues, but at least it was historic and one to remember by that. Now, as you all know, you are graduating early and you're graduating digitally because of the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic has had on our communities and on communities throughout the world. The current pandemic has profoundly changed the way that we study, the way we work, and the way we interact with each other, and done so in many ways. And you are going to be affected by this. Whether you start out as an interim foundation doctor, whether you work as a healthcare assistant, or whether you simply volunteer in your community until you start your foundation job in August, you'll be working in a very different environment from your predecessors. We're already seeing far greater use of technologies in both examination, the assessment, and consultation with patients. But at the same time, the physical environment in which we work, whether it's in hospital or in primary care, and the nature of the doctor-patient interaction, that is all going to be impacted by COVID, and you are going to have to adapt to that and be flexible in your approach. Now, some of you might be a little bit anxious about this, about starting out at this particular time. But I want you to remember that you are not and you will never be alone. When you start to work in a hospital, team working is core to everything that we do in medicine. You're going to join a multidisciplinary team of healthcare professionals and support staff, all of whom have a shared goal to improve the health of our communities. These people will be your colleagues now, your teachers, support team. And we in the medical school, we are also here to support you through this period, and we will be available if you ever need it. It is this camaraderie, I think, this shared sense of purpose that will help us prevail during this and any future crisis that we come across. You're also going to be supported by the public, as the principal has said. You just have to listen to that applause that rings out every Thursday evening during this period of lockdown to realize how much the work you do as doctors in the NHS is appreciated by the public. And you should be both proud and very humbled by that. It's a great privilege. I know I speak as well for all the academic staff in Dundee when I say that you are definitely ready for this. We see you as doctors in training from day one in Dundee, That is the advantage of having the medical school so closely integrated with the hospital, and why we introduce clinical training so early. It is so you are prepared, you're armed, and you're ready to join the NHS as a doctor. As the principal has said, you, our graduates, are now our global ambassadors. You have a lifelong membership of the University of Dundee, and I would like you to always consider that this is your university and your home medical school. Please take real pride in that, in your membership and your passion for the university and the city, for Dundee in the years ahead. So I wish you all health and happiness. Thank you, everyone, and congratulations again.
Thank you very much, Professor McCrimmon. I'd like to offer my thanks to yourself and to Professor Maguire for giving your time this evening for this unusual and exciting version of graduation. It's been a learning experience for all of us, and I'd like to thank you both and many of our other colleagues for getting dressed up to the nines for this evening. I'm slightly disappointed that my own sparkles aren't visible under the graduation gown, but I'll remember that for next time. I'd like to offer our thanks as well to the team who behind the scenes have done all the hard work to get this up and running. An enormous number of individuals have been part of the planning of this to make it work. And many of the graduates have met some of those individuals today, and they will get a recording of this up soon so that we can share this more widely with friends and family who weren't able to join us this evening as well. I am very privileged to have the final word before our celebration montage. And I want to take a moment just to let you know how unbelievably proud I am of every single one of you. And how delighted I have been to watch you progress through your studies, through your journey from naive students to naive doctors. And I look forward to working with you in the future. I am proud and honoured to call you my newest colleagues. And I'm just going to finish with a toast to you, the Doctors of 2020. So if I could ask you to raise your glasses to the Doctors of 2020, may your minds be open, your shoulders broad, your skin be thick, and your hearts be full. You are going to be amazing. Sláinte.
Sláinte.
And now I invite my colleague to start the celebration video.
Everyone around the world, come on! Think about what you're trying to do to me. Let your mind, let yourself be free. I know I can breeze, I'm not gonna wait the breeze. Well, think what you like, see what you do to me. Celebrate good times, come on! It's our celebration. Celebrate good times, everything's gonna be alright. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. It's alright. If you stand me up, if you stand me up, I'll never stop. Celebrate good times, come on, come on, come on. Celebrate good times, come on, all night, all night, all night. Celebrate good times, come on.
Well, everybody, this is the end of our celebration. So thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you for bearing with us through the technical difficulties. It's been an amazing experience, and one that I will definitely be telling stories about for many years to come. So thank you for a wonderful night.
It's excellent. And reassure your parents and everybody who's watching, there'll be a recording and they'll send it through to them and it'll all look nice and slick, I'm sure. So really good luck to all of you. Well done.
Well done, everyone.